The importance of our Christian heritage. We cannot understand who we are as a society, we cannot move forward as a nation, unless we appreciate where we have come from, what we have learnt, and the experiences of our forefathers. Our Christian heritage plays such an important part in the jigsaw of British history. Before the Romans left these shores in the year AD 383, long before Muhammad was born, or we had ever heard of Buddha or Krishna, Christianity was established in Britain. Historians believe it was in the 1st century AD that Christianity was introduced here, possibly by believing Romans in the time of the invasion. Since then, over the centuries, there have been times of great spiritual boldness and exploits carried out by men with great evangelical zeal. In what was then a hostile and pagan country, they overcame great physical and spiritual odds to spread Christianity. We owe our heritage to such men as St. Patrick, born 387 AD, who became Bishop of Ireland, and St. Columba, an Irish abbot, born 521 AD. Both were missionaries, and St. Columba is credited with spreading Christianity in present-day Scotland and the founder of the important monastery at Iona. Also the Venerable Bede, likely to have been born in 673 AD in Jarrow, was an English monk and a skilled linguist and translator, who wrote the Ecclesiastical History of the English People, which gained him the title the Father of English History. These great men of God, along with others, have gone down in our history books as those who are important in the spreading of the gospel in our land, bringing salvation, good laws for the people to live by, and for our kings and queens to govern by in equity and justice. Our first organised educationalists were monks, and the abbeys and monasteries were the academies and colleges of their day, writing down and recording everything for themselves and for the benefit of generations to come. They established the foundation and model for our future educational institutions and methods. Over many centuries, Christianity became all-pervading in society, penetrating every strata, becoming intrinsically linked to everyday life. Some living then would have shuddered at the thought of how our country would one day reject such a beautiful heritage and the consequences of such foolishness. They could only have hoped, as many do today, for a restoration of all things Christian in our land, and in turn secure our future. Christianity, or more to the point, the Christians of today, the Church, provide a link to the past for the good of all. A godless nation with its moral compass broken makes for a moral vacuum, allowing for unsavoury elements to fill that void unchecked, to reap havoc and destruction. Jesus said his followers are to be this world's salt and light. The gospel holds back the powers of darkness and forces of evil in a nation. The Bible confirms this in Proverbs chapter 14 verse 34. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Our Christian past informs, it encourages, delights and fascinates, and imposes questions. It is a heritage that really inspires us to think about what our British past means, and what part people played in forming that heritage, and what part it plays in our understanding of our nation today and in a much wider world.